Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, and we'll be previewing day one of the Ebor Festival at York. Before we get stuck into that, I just want to say sorry for not making this video last night. I was quite busy last night and unfortunately wasn't able to make this video. So I've looked through all 6 races for today, and I'll be giving you a selection in each one of those like we normally do at all these big festivals. You might remember last year that unfortunately I couldn't really do many vlogs about the Ebor Festival. However, it was quite good for us, and I took a picture of my selection because I was at my cousin's wedding up in Liverpool. I posted them on my Twitter page, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's at LuckyLoaders15. And yeah, you could have seen my selections over there, and we did quite well. We had quite a nice few winners, and hopefully we can continue that this year. Anyway, the first race starts in the 155, which is always a very tough race to work out. Bit of a cavalry charge, as they like to call it. But I liked a horse here called Line of Reason, 20 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment. I thought this would be a fair each way bet. Trained by Paul Midgley, Joe Fanning has booked for the ride. This horse quite likes likes it here at York. He's run quite well before. He's a previous course and distance winner. He's run in this race twice in his career, even though he's getting on a little bit now. He's finished 7th and 4th in his career, and he's been in a bit of form recently. He won a few starts ago at Ayr, and then he went to the Shergar Cup last time at Ascot and ran in a very creditable third place. And I thought today at 20 to 1 he had a great chance of making the frame. And Joe Fanning is booked for the ride, who always rides York really well. Also as well, Paul Midgley stable have been in very good form. They've been having quite a few winners at the moment, and I thought Line of Reason could definitely make the frame here. And he was in betting for a very competitive handicap at Ascot, where he was expected to run a big run that day. He was just unlucky. It was just one of those typical handicaps like there is today, but you can make a case for quite a few in the race. But I thought Line of Reason was quite interesting at 20 to 1. We then go to the 225, where this is always quite a hard race to work out. But I like a horse here called Phoenix of Spain, 9 to 2 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Charlie Hills, who you are starting to pick up again in some form. Jamie Spencer's been booked for the ride, who had a 5-timer yesterday at Yarmouth. Now this horse won very convincingly at Wolverhampton last time, but before that ran in a race at Sandown, where it's actually going to meet a couple of its competitors today. It's going to be meeting Persian Moon of Mark Johnston's, and the form of that race has worked out really well. You've had quite a few winners from it that have come out since, and some decent placed efforts from those quite down the order. So really, you got to think that this piece of form could definitely go into this race. But I thought Phoenix of Spain by Lope de Vega had a good chance of taking another step forward, and I thought 9 to 2 wasn't a bad one there. We then go to the 3 o'clock with the Voltager, and I thought this one was a bit of a head scratcher, to be honest. I can't really work out why Kew Gardens isn't favourite. I do agree that Cross Counter has a chance, but I thought Kew Gardens here at 7 to 2 was quite a juicy price. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore but for the ride. Now one thing that might be a little bit of a concern is that Ryan Moore's horses maybe haven't, not Ryan Moore's horses I should say, but the horses he's been riding for Aidan O'Brien haven't been firing as much as they probably would have hoped this year. They've been a bit quiet, the stable. Even over in Ireland domestically, they haven't been having all the winners over there like they normally do. But Kew Gardens is a very quality horse. He's one of the few anti-post bets that I've got on for the St Ledger at 10 to 1. I don't normally do anti-post, but I thought 10 to 1 at the time was really good value after he was quoted for this race by Aidan O'Brien. He said it would be a lovely race for him in the autumn. So this is definitely part of the plan, and he franked the form of his Queen's Vase run by winning over in France last time. So yeah, he's been running really well, and even though he does have to give that £5 penalty away, I think the ground is really key to Kew Gardens. I think he wants it good to firm, and he definitely wants a trip, which he's getting here, and also as well he's going to get the conditions. I think if they're a little bit softer, he doesn't quite like it. But Cross Counter, yes, did break the course record at Goodwood, but also if you actually look at that race, DXB, who knows what was doing. Also as well, Sun Maiden as well, which was really hyped about, just didn't handle the track at all, and I'm not really sure what it beat that day. So yeah, I thought at the prices Kew Gardens would be my selection there. We then go to the 335, one of the feature races of the meeting. This looks a really good renewal in the Juddmonte. We've got Saxon Warrior, we've got Roaring Lion, Poet's Word, and for me it's actually going to be Roaring Lion here at 3 to 1 bookmakers at the moment in the Qatari racing colours, trained by John Gosden, Oisin Murphy, but for the ride. And this one won the Eclipse last time out. out, running on really well under Oisin Murphy, just a nice Saxon warrior who I think's taken quite a lot of unfair stick actually. I think just because he was hyped for the derby, then everyone's just been critical of him where everything went against him that day with the draw. But I genuinely don't think he probably stays the trip fully. I think he's a decent miler or a mile and a quarter horse, so he's going to get probably his more ideal trip today. But he was running on really well at the end, so who knows there. But Roaring Lion for me is going to get the 3-year-old allowance. Also as well, won the Dante when he rediscovered his form, and he's been the same horse since then. So yeah, for me, Roaring Lion at 3-1 it is. We then go to the 4:15 where there's a bit of a gamble on here, and actually this one I should have probably put up last night for the better value. It's 8-1 bookmakers at the moment. I'm on it at 10s. It's trained by Rafe Beckett and Harry Bentley's put for the ride. There's a bit of a gamble going on this one. This one definitely looks like it's going to be a good stare. A lot of its best form has come at York. It's often made the frame. In fact, I think every time it's made the frame, it's never finished out of the first 3. And I definitely see this one going really well. Rafe Beckett always has quite a good meeting at the Ebor. Harry Bentley's booked for the ride, carrying a nice low racing weight. Now anything could obviously win this race. It's a very competitive race, but I thought Here and Now had a very good chance of making the frame. And even though he is going into favouritism at the moment, even if you did want to back him at say 7 or 8-1, he's going to give you a good run for your money, I think, and you would probably definitely get the each way value back. We then go to the 4:50, the last race of the day. Again, you could throw a dart at this and anything could really win, but I like Ginger Nut here, and again this one's been quite well backed. I'm on it again at 10-1, trained by Richard Hannon. Oisin Murphy booked for the ride, who I think is going to have a good day. This one won the Super Sprint Stakes at Newbury, where the form of that race has worked out not amazingly well, but it ran in a better race last time out at Newmarket in a nursery, and it won, or I should say it came second that day, just behind horse of Nigel Tinkler. But the form of that race has worked out really well. The Porcelain Girl horse of Michael Bell has since gone and bolted up at Leicester, so the form of that race is looking not too badly. It's got very strong form, claims model of consistency. You can get 6 places with Sky Bet, and if you can get something maybe like 7-8-1 out there, I definitely think that would be a good bet for you there. So they're going to be the selections for day 1 of the Ebor Festival at York. Let us know in the comments box below what you're going to be backing on day 1. Also as well, please subscribe here to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. You can also check out my other work with thepuntspage.com, where I've got some other tips away from York, so go and see that over there if you haven't done so already. Anyway, please hit the like button, please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.